Calm down, man.
No.
Alright, everybody. This is Alternate 275. Over there, we got Antic and Doggy Sandwich.
Yo.
We got Antic on for the first time. Antic, what do we got for our topics?
Let's see, we got Super Street Fighter 4. Well, first off, yeah, that's it. Super Street Fighter 4 and Tekken 6. And then Firefighter if we actually figure out something to talk about with that. So,
Alright. Do you have any first comments about Super Street Fighter 4?
Well, this is something I just recently realized. Street Fighter 4 version just came out as a definition of Street Fighter, the original Street Fighter 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it just had some extra things added on here and there. So, now they're making Super Street Fighter 4, which is pretty much Super Street Fighter 4 Turbo, just with different recognitions and everything.
More or less.
Yeah, so it's just gonna be, we're gonna end up seeing Street Fighter 3 with, Deadly Makoto, or, some different game system. It's gonna come out extra over and over and over again. So I'm just noticing that Capcom's making the same game over and over, because they really don't have much else to add on to it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Do you agree with me, or do you think it's just...
It's not that I more or less agree or disagree with the thing. Actually, while you say that, I was looking at the interview with Mr. Ono. I believe that's his name, the lead director for the Capcom Street Fighter 4 game.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about the reason why that Super Street Fighter 4 isn't a downloadable patch, as everyone else was, thinking it would be, is because he says that this one's actually going to have more than just subtle changes, and that Super Street Fighter 4, the impact of changes encourages you to buy a new disc as opposed to download a patch.
So with that, I'm pretty certain. Would you consider Street Fighter 4 to still be competitive when Super Street Fighter 4 comes out?
I personally think it will be for a little while because, some characters are going to wind up being better, obviously. Some characters inherently are not going to be better just because of some changes. And then some people just aren't going to like their, the new versions of their new characters, so they'll stick with the old stuff. Some people, for whatever reason, won't be able to afford to go to the new stuff. And then some people just, won't want to go to the new stuff yet. You know how some people are rebels, man, this game is popular, I just can't play it.
Exactly.
Yeah, mindless BS like that. So people are going to hang on to Street Fighter 4 for a good little bit, but it'll fade away pretty quick. It won't be like Third Strike where people actually have a legit reason to stay around for a while, unless for some odd reason Super Street Fighter 4 flops, which I don't see that happening.
Yeah, the hype with... just the fact that everyone's been talking about, we need more characters like DJ and T-Hawk and so on and so forth. That game's definitely not going to flop like everybody's considering. It's pretty hyped up already.
And the same characters I keep hearing over and over about people wanting back from previous games onto Super Street Fighter 4 are Makoto, a lot of Third Strike characters, Makoto, Ibuki, the popular ones like them, Deadly, and then even from the Alpha series, the one I hear a lot is Cody.
Yeah, man.
And personally, I would welcome Cody in Street Fighter 4 in open arms. Cody in Street Fighter Alpha 3 was so much fun to play. Although, I wouldn't know how they would work that in the Street Fighter 4.
Well,
I don't know how you worked in a Cody in open arms comic without putting no homo at the end of it, but I love to have Cody in this shaking people. I love to have Cody in this straight up shaking people. That's what's hot, Put him in there. I hope, I don't want to say I hope they don't add custom combos with him or whatnot, but if they do, I would assume, or I would hope that they'd make it for alpha characters, something like that. Kind of alluding to what they did in Capcom Fighting Evolution, but not to that degree, to where every group of characters had their own mechanic. Huh?
Everybody had a different groove.
It wasn't exactly a groove. It's they had their own mechanics.
Who was even...
Say for Third Strike, Yun.
Who was even a good character in that game?
Huh? In Alpha 3?
No, in Capcom Fighting Evolution. If you think about it, they all had a high tier character from their certain series in the game.
If you want to really hear do you really want to hear the tier list?
Why not? I mean, I would assume Chun-Li's still in there because he has the same shit and does the same amount of damage. So,
Okay. Well, the most recent tier list I checked that was and I don't understand
why the fuck would you even check that tier list? Like,
Hold on now. Before I tell you the tier list for this game, as bad as I know that game really is, I think I'm actually one of the few people that actually like that game.
I'm sorry you just admitted that on the air.
Yes,
I'm not responsible for any like anthrax that comes to your house.
like
I just admitted that. I shamelessly admitted that. But anyway,
white packets.
the tier list goes, well, the most recent one that I checked at, the tier list goes Leo at S tier, at A tier, Anakaris, Urian, Jeddah, Karin, Dimitri, and at B tier we got Hauser, Kenji, Rose, Alex, Guy. C tier at M Bison, Guile, Ryu, Ingrid. At D tier Chun-Li, Zangief, Yun. And E tier Sakura, Hydron, and Felicia.
what? How is? Oh my god! Like I play Third Strike a lot, obviously, but like, how is it the Third Strike characters are like ultra bad? I don't even get that. They have a parry system, so.
Well, I really don't have an answer for that because I don't play the game competitively.
That
I
makes
mean,
no sense.
you gotta understand, like I said, it's not like the characters have, like, each game has their own grooves. Each game has their own mechanics. So there's stuff like, the Darkstalkers characters still get their OTG hits in their chains, where nobody else does in any variation. The Street Fighter 2 characters, even if your mechanic has air blocking, you can't air block against them.
Really?
Yes.
Yes?
That game, and it's kind of hard to say that game was rushed. I mean, like if they're actually able to add those mechanics like for every matchup.
Well, if I remember correctly, that was when Mr. Arno, that was his first project when he took over as the new lead director in Capcom's department. I'd have to go check my sources on where I've heard that or read that from, but that's what I remember reading somewhere.
The thing I thought of, oh, go ahead, sorry.
We'll go on.
No, the thing I thought about the game and the reason why it didn't work is it's because they had this idea of taking all the characters from their respective games and putting them into one game in their entirety, and they did it too well. Like, yeah, you heard it right. The reason why I think that game didn't work is because they did exactly what they wanted to do, and then the games they picked were just inherently unbalanced across each other.
I see what you're saying. Well,
one thing I really don't understand. Sorry to interrupt you.
Go on.
You said Felicia was E tier.
Yes.
E tier and Jeddah, and the rest of the Darkstalker crew is A tier, right?
Let me go back. Let's see. At A tier, we got Jeddah and Anakaris and Dimitri. Yeah, the rest of them are in A tier.
How good was Felicia and Darkstalkers? ...
I really don't remember. I have it right here. Right here. So if you would just give me a second.
She wasn't Sasquatch.
And you're right.
She wasn't Sasquatch. She was breathing ice on everybody on the screen.
You're right. She's not Sasquatch or QB in some people would argue. Anyway, Felicia and Vampire Savior?
Yeah.
But in Vampire Savior, at least, she's apparently B tier. This is the tier list I last checked. I don't know if it's updated or not.
Huh.
But she was B tier.
This wasn't that bad. She's got turbo bad recently. But
yeah.
Whatever.
But like, yeah.
Turbo bad recently when they haven't even like thought of that game. Well, they thought about an HD remix. That's it.
They should not do that. Like, what the fuck?
Why not? Vampire Savior was a good series.
Vampire Savior was a very good series. In fact, I think that's one of Capcom's fighting games that has like the most mechanics in it. And a lot of them, and that's where a lot of mechanics came from. OTGs happened there first, at least for Capcom's fighting game series they have. Chain combos, I believe, happened there first.
Yeah, they did. Or target combos, yeah.
Air dashing happened there first, I believe. Push blocking. A lot of mechanics. I don't know which specific ones, but I do know the whole lot of the mechanics that were in many of Capcom's fighting games in the Capcom series happened there first.
And everything else, yeah.
Right.